Hi, Phil Aston here from Now Spinning Magazine with another album review, and this time it's Southern rock, and it's one of my favourite artists, Warren Haynes. And this is Million Voices Whisper, his new album, which I've got on vinyl behind me. It's on a very, very laid back yellow vinyl, as you can see here. There's lots of guest artists on it. But one of the main guest artists on it, which I know many of you will also be fans of, is Derek Trucks. This album kind of follows a trend that started way back in 2011, really, with Man in Motion. I first encountered Warren Haynes way back with Dickie Betts, his band, before they reformed the Allman Brothers, and then, of course, Gov't Mule. And you've got to remember that Warren Haynes has, when you listen to the Mule, I mean, apart from the fact, again, they're like a jam band, but they have lots of people guesting. But they've done, they've had like members of Metallica with them. They've done Sabbath tracks. They've done Floyd. They've done reggae. They've done jazz fusion with John Scofield. Warren Haynes can do anything. He's also a massive fan of Free, but the fact he can go in and do Sweetly by Sabbath and a Pink Floyd gig, they do so many different things. It's amazing. However, I feel that with his solo career, and especially in more recent years, and even the Mule to some degree, he's not mellowing as such, but he's following a pattern that's from the heart. And the other thing about Warren Haynes is I could easily just talk about him as a guitarist, as an absolutely superb guitar player who plays with such passion and such feel that can play like Sabbath tracks. But his heart, I think, it's the Allman Brothers. It's that feeling that of putting his heart through his guitar. And the reason why, and I've said this so many times, the reason why I feel he plays with such feel is he is also an incredible vocalist. And I think that sometimes you have guitar players who can't maybe verbalize what they're thinking, and they interpret the words of the vocalist. Paul Kossoff obviously is a great example of that. But I think when you have someone who sings with such passion and such power as Warren Haynes, is that when he takes a solo, the guitar is just an extension of his voice. It is poetry without words. That's how I feel. And this album, it starts as it means to go on, really. 4 sides of it, obviously, double album. The first one has Derek Trucks on it, and it sets the tone. And I have to say, Susan Tedeschi is not on it as a guest artist. So why am I mentioning that? Because if she was, there'd be some tracks that would be so close to being a Tedeschi Trucks band track that you'd think that's what you were listening to. The Warren Haynes and Derek Trucks are so connected. This album is dedicated, to the guy whose name I've just mentioned, and now it's gone, Dickie Betts. Dickie Betts. I've been playing lots of Dickie Betts. I love the Allman Brothers. Greg Allman's great, passionate voice. I just love that band. And Dickie Betts, great slide player. And that lineup, to me, Hitting the Note by the Allman Brothers, technically one of their most recent albums. But when you had Warren Haynes, Dickie Betts, and Derek Trucks, the 3 of them in that band, and here are 2 of them with Derek Trucks. The music is really uplifting, emotive vocals, great. And the second track if I've got it here, Going Down Swinging, very uplifting, lots of brass, etc. Wonderful solos in it as well. The other thing about Warren singing is you can hear and pick out every single word, and you can't always do that with vocalists, and it's so it brings the message, these worldly messages of life, love, that all of us in every corner of the world experience to life, really. On side 2, we've got The Cost of Freedom, which is the extended version. It's like a gospel blues, very swampy feel to it. It's fantastic slide playing. In fact, Warren's slide playing mirrors Derek Trucks. It's not always easy to work out which track Derek Trucks is on. It says on the back of the cover, Derek Trucks is on this one and whatever. But when you listen to it and just, without just letting yourself go with the music, you'll think, oh, is that Derek? Is that Warren? It is basically like that. There's some wonderful, soulful funk tracks. Terrified is a really good one as well. My favourites are sitting later on in the album, and that is on side 3 in particular. This is Life as We Know It, is a really, really beautiful song, very positive, very laid back. It's actually the next one in, which is Lies, 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 Monkey Dance, Lies, Lies, Lies. I have to mention Kevin Scott on the bass on this one. This has got one of the funkiest Can't Keep Your Foot Still bass lines you'll hear this year, without a doubt. There's lots of different moods. It kind of like drops back to almost like a floating groove jam feel to it, and then it's up and ready again with the funky bass riffs. Great wah-wah guitar solo. It's just got a great groove. The other thing about these songs is that all of them, if Warren plays anything off this album live, any of them, especially this one, could just keep going, and you'd want them to keep going. You'd be just dancing in the aisles and just swaying backwards and forwards and just going with it. Him and Derek could just keep going. Tracks here that are 7-8 minutes long could easily be. You could add another 10 minutes onto those, and you wouldn't be bored at all. When he does a ballad like Till the Sun Comes Shining Through, this is where Warren's voice is so emotive. It's a wonderful album. Sue was sitting next to me when I was playing it through the first time. She said, "Oh, well, this is a lovely record." And we'd listened. I reviewed the most recent gov't Mule album. And I always felt that sometimes with gov't Mule albums and Warren solo stuff, they were further apart, but they're kind of like overlapping circles now in many ways to me. Absolutely wonderful stuff. And side 4 on the album, obviously, You Ain't Above Me, Hall of Future Saints. Hall of Future Saints, that's a good one. This is Derek Trucks is on this, and this is like talking about name-checking lots of the classic blues artists and talking about future saints, the blues movement itself. Lots of different things going on in here. Great guitar playing, absolutely wonderful guitar playing. And then the last track is like just Warren with acoustic guitar, really. Very, very laid-back stuff. But if you're looking for something, as in the UK, as we head into the winter, and I'm sitting here now, and it's raining, and the clouds are dark, it's quiet. This is a bit of sunshine. This is a bit of extra light into your life. Absolutely highly recommended. Million Voices Whisper. And that, yeah, I must mention that. Especially because he's called it Million Voices Whisper, although it's probably not Warren means at all. But when you say features Derek Trucks, and Derek Trucks is a guitarist that literally just drops like a feather a few notes that just kind of like, just a little kind of inflections of slide. Those of you who know Derek Trucks, you'll know exactly what I mean. And that's him. There's no ego here. I'm going to play in this track by Warren Haynes has asked me to guest on this track. It just, these little notes just come trickling down the side of the mountain and just plop across the surface of the song. And of course, in different parts, he lets rip and reaches those really high notes on his slide. But most of the time, they're like him and Warren's guitars are like having a conversation. They're whispering over a groove that's just timeless. This is Southern rock. This is just a really good album. Warren Haynes. Million Voices Whisper. Double album, double vinyl, also on CD. I'm hoping I might get a chance to talk to Warren. I really hope I can. But thank you, all of you, for being here. Thank you for all of your support. Remember, music is the healer and the doctor. Please buy some merch or become a patron or support me. Share, like. It all makes a difference. Remember, keep spinning those discs. Take care, everyone. And I'll talk to you all very, very soon.